What's up, my Yu-Gi-Oh nerds? Today we're going to be cooking with my favorite card of all time, Nadir Servant. So, if you guys don't know what this card does, what it does is it lets you send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard, and it lets you add a Fallen of Albaz or a Dogmatica card with the same attack or less from your deck or graveyard to hand. Now, the only thing that's the downside of this card is you can't use the extra deck for the rest of the duel. So, most decks, this is going to be the last card you do. But it's so powerful, it's so broken that even if it's the first card you do, you're probably going to go to game 2, at least. So why I say we're going to be cooking with this is there's 2 decks, really, that use this the best, Branded and Invoked. So like I said, it locks you out of your extra deck, but it's like the best 4 fusion decks. It's kind of funny, but we'll get into it. So this one card can make you a Winda with 2 interruptions. And that's just phenomenal. And so how we're going to do that with this is we're going to play our Nadir Servant, and what we're going to send Garura. We're going to send that to the graveyard to add our Maximus. So what Maximus does is you can banish one card from the graveyard to special summon it. And where this becomes an even better combo is we're going to send the Garura. So we're going to add any card. Doesn't matter, we just get an extra card. And this is how the combo works. So we add the Maximus. We're going to banish our Garura after getting our draw to special summon the Maximus. Maximus effect. We're going to send 2 more monsters from the extra deck to the graveyard. And the best one to do for this combo, Titaniclad to the grave, and Apcalone to the grave. So when Apcalone hits the grave, what it's going to let you do is it's going to let you add a card, and then you're going to have to discard a card. So we're going to add our Schism. So this is how we summon up our Winda. And we're just going to discard whatever it was that we drew off of the Garura. Get the Schism to our hand. So now we've got our Maximus. We've got a Shaddoll in the grave and a Dark in the grave. And then we've got our Schism we can set. So then when we pass turn, Titaniclad's going to activate. So what that's going to do is it's going to let us add Fleur-de-Lis from our deck right to our hand. So now on this, what we have is Fleur-de-Lis. As long as there's an extra deck monster on the field, we can special summon it. And if there's a Dogmatica card on the field, it counts as a card negate, a monster negate. And then when we summon up our Winda with Schism, what's super cool about Schism is it's going to let us summon our Winda. And if there's a dark monster on the field, you can actually send it to the grave, and it's on the resolution of this, so it doesn't start a new chain. It's all one effect from the Schism. So this is actually a good way to play around cards, especially if you know they're going to special summon a dark monster, or it's already on the field. You pop this, get your Winda, and then you clear the field, basically. And then they can't special summon more than once, and if you catch them in the middle of a chain, that's their special summon. And then it's basically pass turn, and even if this is all you have on the field, that's quite a bit of damage that you're going to be putting through there. So that's just ridiculous. And how I play this is I actually play this with Invocation, which, yeah, I know, old deck, not good. But you can also send these Elder Entity Entest with an Nadir Servant to add, and it lets you get this one or Ecclesia the Virtuous, because they're both 15s. So you can get a Destruction and an add, then the special summon. You know, you're still locked out of the extra deck, but if you get these 3 cards out, so Fleur-de-Lis boosts by 500 for attacks, so that's 3,000, 2,000, 2,000, so you're already sitting at 7. You basically just need any normal summon monster to clear the board there. So it's pretty good OTKs, and all that off of Nadir Servant. Alright, so now I'm going to show you why we play this in Branded, which arguably better in Branded. I don't know, it's really just kind of depend on what kind of player you are and what you see as good. Alright, and why Nadir Servant is super good for Branded. So this is usually going to be the last card you play. Hopefully you haven't used your normal summon yet, because you can set up a hell of an end board as long as you haven't. And Branded, a lot of the times you don't need your normal summon. So this card is perfect in there. And I saw this, I was like, why am I going to lock myself out of the extra deck in like the most fusion summoning deck ever? Because you play this last and you win the duel. That's why. So with the Nadir Servant, we're going to send this card, Lulu Waith, from the deck to, or from the extra deck to the graveyard. And what we're going to do with that is when this gets sent, we can add Quem. And Quem is probably one of the best cards in the deck. If you know Branded, you know why. This card lets you basically just set up more fusion summoning on your opponent's turn, especially with Fallen of Albaz, and it's like super poly. So what you do is you send that, you add your Quem, then we're going to normal summon our Quem. And basically after that, we can pass turn. So what's going to happen is our Lulu Waith in grave, as long as it's there at the end step, lets us summon a spellcaster with the same attack and defense. So then we're going to get Blazing Cortesia the Virtuous. So now we have a fusion quick effect set up on our opponent's turn. So if you didn't start your Puppet Lock, you can actually get into it on your opponent's turn, which is super nice by setting this up. And then you also have the effect of a monster leaves the extra deck, you special summon a Fallen of Albaz from your graveyard to the field, and that's kind of your super poly play, right? And if you have like a super poly already set, you just kind of win, right? And this is the one card that you like, just the Nadir Servant. So you end on this plus whatever you made, which is just fantastic. I don't know why people stopped playing this card. And then yeah, it's just, oh no, I can fusion summon into my card that lets me Gimmick Puppet Lock you, or into another Mirror Jade, or into the toolbox of fusion monsters that you have to. And then as soon as that card leaves the extra deck, you can special summon your Fallen of Albaz from Quem's effect and steal one of their monsters. So you really just kind of shut their game down, as long as you know what you're doing, right? Like the first normal summon, you start popping everything, yeah, that's on you. But if you know what you're doing, this on top of whatever you made with Branded is just phenomenal. And all of that is just from Nadir Servant. Yeah, it locks you out of the extra deck, but does it really? Alright, so that's it. That's how we cook with this card. Alright guys, remember those ABCs. Always be cooking.
Thank you for checking out another one of my videos. If you're interested in any more, I've got a couple lined up right here. And if you haven't yet, click the icon in the center to subscribe to my channel. And remember, have fun out there.